A small town roots where the stories run deep. Amador County secrets we keep. Kandi and Garrett bringing the talk. Who, what, where every Sunday we rock. From schools and teams to the county fair. New biz, old roots, dandelion days in the air. Leaders and local stories that wow. Real Talk Sundays. Tune in now.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Kandi Thompson.
And Garrett Gray.
You did this too soon.
I don't know. I think I was on the money.
Were you? Okay. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are journeying right through our Getting to Know Amador County series. And this is like the sub-series of Getting to Know Your City Manager. So we have the pleasure of being here today with the Ione City Manager, George Lee. Welcome, George.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, we're so excited. And so, George, this is really an opportunity for people to just get to know more about our leaders, right? Last year we did the Getting to Know Your Supervisor series where we sat down with all 5 supervisors, and that was awesome. And so that's kind of what sparked this idea was like we'd like to know who the city managers are. So tell us a little bit about you, kind of where you came from and how you got to this position.
Okay. I went to college at TCU.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Horned Frogs.
My girls just graduated from there. Do you know that?
Oh, did you?
I have identical girls that just graduated. One of them's graduating with her master's degree on May 8th.
All right. Well, I graduated with a degree in business. I was able to go there, fortunate enough to go there on a tennis scholarship.
Wow.
Okay. So, you know, the coach was extremely hard in terms of discipline. He was a really good discipline, and probably, as a matter of fact, I probably learned the most from him in terms of discipline, probably than anyone else, because you know you had practices, you had road trips, you had all type of things, and you had to be on a schedule. You had, every minute was accounted for. Practice, and we had to run to the mess hall. We had to run.
Wow.
We had to run to the study hall, run to take showers, and
Did he go to West Point?
no. Actually, his name was Ted Bartson, and he was about 5'6", but he was a 5-time national clay court champion.
Wow.
So he did have the heart of a champion.
Wow.
So you know, I have to say that I
love
learned
that.
a lot from him.
There's no one better to learn from than someone like that. I love that.
So he taught me a lot of discipline, and of course, my mother as well. And also, obviously, I'm trying to pass on that discipline to my children.
Yes.
You know, and so after that, I went to Hawaii.
Okay.
Okay, and I took a job in Hawaii in development. And again, I've been very fortunate because I've had good mentors. And in Hawaii, I got under the tutelage of probably the most prolific condominium developer in Hawaii at that time.
Wow.
His name was Bruce Stark. If you fly into Honolulu, you'll see 2 pink towers. Okay, he built those.
Wow.
Okay, so he at that time was the most prolific condominium developer, and so, you know, he started me in sales. I went through leasing, I went through assistant project manager, finance, project manager, the whole bit.
Wow.
Okay,
What good experience.
So, you know, that's where I probably learned the best in terms of a good education in real estate.
Yeah.
From there, I worked for a gentleman who actually owned Castle Oaks a long time ago.
Oh, right.
And he's how I got to Ione.
Okay.
Because he was having some difficulty at that time. He was one of the partners, and I guess the majority owner wanted to buy him out, or wanted him to buy him out. So I knew him from Hawaii, and he asked me to go over there and do some due diligence. And at that time, I told him, walk away. I said, walk away.
Yeah.
Because if you don't walk away, everyone's going to come after you because you're the only one with money. And I guess he couldn't walk away, and everybody came after him.
Yeah. I'll call that right out. Huh?
Yeah, right.
So then after that, he asked me, hey, can you help me out and come here and help smooth things out and resolve some of the issues? And so, you know, I did. I was looking at it primarily from maybe a very short-term, you know, type of situation. But, you know, it took me about a year to resolve all the litigation. There was a lot of litigation between all the contractors, bondholders, and so forth, and engineers. So, you know, eventually the golf course got finished. Okay, and the golf course got opened, and then after that, you know, I went to work for another gentleman who was in, again, real estate, and I stayed with him for almost 26, 27 years.
Wow.
Okay, and so I still have a relationship with him, and because again, I think business and life is all about relationships.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then when I was in Ione, I met my wife.
Oh, that's
Okay,
great.
I met my
Okay.
wife.
Because she's a local, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her maiden name is Lyman, and
Yeah.
she's local, and she has a lot of family in Ione.
Yeah.
A lot of
She
family
Yeah.
does.
but,
As most people in
Yeah.
Amador
Right,
County,
right.
you'll find, right? We're all related.
and so yeah, and my
Whoa.
kids grew up there, and went to school there in Ione Junior High, and went to a school in Amador High, and now my oldest daughter, she's a PA
Oh, she is.
in Folsom,
Okay.
working in cardiology, and my
Nice.
son works for Goldman Sachs in Utah.
Oh, he does. Okay.
And so I have one more left, and he's 17, just turned 17
Wow.
Oh, he
at Amador High.
is. Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So
Oh my gosh, you're almost an empty nester, George.
almost.
That's awesome. That's so interesting on how you got to Ione.
Mhm.
And so what kind of brought you into the journey of city management? Because it sounds like you've been in real estate. So
Yes.
that's not
Yeah.
really like how did you take that jump?
After I spent some time in Arizona, San Francisco, and I came home, and I always used Fiddletown, where I live now, as a home base. And on occasion always followed what's happening in Ione, because I have a lot of friends in Ione and so forth. And so and I saw the revolving door. And so when the last person left, some of the people reached out, said, "Hey, why don't you submit for the job?" I said, I don't know. That's kind of
Yeah.
real sticky situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in a fishbowl in
Okay.
that situation.
And some of the people said, what, please do it to help
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
So I did, and I met with the advisory committee, citizens advisory committee, and they unanimously recommended me, and I met with the council, and then they unanimously recommended. You couldn't tell now, but
Well, once you get your foot in the door, then you start making problems,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right.
you couldn't
Yeah.
tell now, but yes, it was unanimous.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How long have you been in this position out in Ione?
In April now, it's been about 2 years.
2
Oh,
years.
okay.
2
Okay.
years.
Okay.
So far in the last 5 years, maybe I'm the longest serving, because we've had 5 city managers in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That is kind of becoming a pretty common theme
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
all the cities.
Well, I think all of you guys were hired. It sounds like all around the same
Yeah.
year time frame, whether it be a couple months here and a couple months there. Because I think Carl was 2 years. Du Bois was 2
Yeah,
years
right
and a
around 2
month. He
years,
was a little
yeah.
bit for. I
Yeah.
think it was like Carl Du Bois, and I think you're right around that
It's
same
so
area.
true. I didn't even
So,
think of that. You're right. And so we had, in doing all of these interviews, that is true. It's
yeah,
all been about
it's all
the
about
same
the same
thing.
time frame.
It all centers around elections.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So again, from what I have found out and what I've learned, is that the average tenure of a city manager is anywhere between 3 and 5 years.
Because of where the
Because
election falls.
As city councils change,
Yeah.
when there's a new majority, they have different views. They want to change things, and so that's when they usually, get a new one. So it is a
Because you're in an appointed position, not an elected position, right?
yes, it's an
Okay.
appointed position. So again,
Right. But the city council's elected. So
Right.
when they come in and they
Right.
have a different
Yeah,
idea.
it's just like any other
Yeah.
political game
Right,
you go into.
right.
They want to clean house. They want to bring their guy in. They
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
spice things up.
That's right.
Older, younger, whatever
Yeah.
the case may
And
be.
it's,
And this kind of reminds me a little bit of the school board, because you've got the superintendent, who the bosses essentially of the superintendent are the board. Same with the city manager. Like your bosses are the city council.
council, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's interesting. Okay, so George, in 2 years, what would you say is something that you have accomplished that you're the most
It
proud
was like
of?
your baby that you've watched fully.
I would say that the most significant thing that we've done is that the city hall has become stabilized. Okay, because that was one of the main things or main goals that I had coming in, was to stabilize City Hall. All of the staff there. So the city has a great staff. It has an extraordinary staff, and a lot of the public don't know how much they do. Okay, because then I'll give you for an example, like the Public Works Department. We take care of 11 parks, plus in addition to Howard Park, with 5 people
Wow.
plus the superintendent. That's
Yeah.
pretty hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus Howard Park, 11 parks with the 5 people.
Yeah. Because Howard Park is a city park. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, it's called a regional park.
Okay.
You know, but it's in the city, and the city has to maintain it. So, to me, you know, that's a challenge. I mean, extraordinary challenge that
Yeah.
they tackle every day. The staff is great, you know, led by Zach Finch and all his staff. You have Josiah Mullen, you have Nicatelli, you have Tino Meza, and then you have. I'm gonna make sure I don't forget anybody.
Yeah, better not, because then
Yes.
they're gonna watch it and be like, George,
Yeah,
what
that's
are you
right,
talking about? We
that's
just had
right.
coffee yesterday. You forgot my name?
Taylor Unke.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
As you guys all know, Sam Fabila is now helping us with our marketing.
Oh, that's
push
awesome.
right now. Yeah, and
That's awesome.
he's done a great job.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I would say that was one of my first goals is to stabilize City Hall. You know, we had some turnover with the finance manager position. Now we have a great person, Andrea Bonham.
Awesome.
You know,
Yep.
she's from local, and that was my
She's awesome.
kind of intent is to hire knowledgeable people who are local
Yeah.
Right.
because they have
Who
a
care.
vested interest
Yeah.
Right.
in their town.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Bonham's been around a long time. Zach Finch has been around for a long time. His family's been around a long time.
Yeah.
So, you know, in a situation like that, you're in touch with the local people.
Right.
You can't hide. You
Right,
can't,
right.
okay, I'm done with this job. I'm going to go home in some other city.
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see people taking your kids to the park. So you can't run. People will say, hey, man, what's up?
Right,
You know,
right, right.
How come this is not fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they know who you are. There, of course,
Right.
they're gonna ask the
And
questions.
you live
right?
in Ione, correct?
no, I live in Fiddletown.
Town.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I live in Fiddletown.
He just highly vested in Ione.
He is. Yes. Yes.
I'm true blue Ione all the way, man. All the way.
Yeah.
So, but,
Okay, and you are so you have was it during your tenure that the you moved City Hall, right? It used to be on Main Street.
it's still on Main Street.
Oh, it is.
Okay, so we moved the police station.
Okay, got it.
The
Got
police
it.
station moved temporarily to the shopping center where the Ione supermarket is.
Okay.
Okay.
Because they have outgrown their space and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a lot of police cars and so forth. So they're there temporarily. The city of Ione just purchased a new building that used to be the old Ace Hardware store in Ione.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that has a lot
Across
of
the
space,
street.
Yep.
a lot of space. Over there near
Oh, down around the corner, over
Right.
by your old that rental you had on that corner.
Ione Feed.
Yeah. That big long.
Oh, that's a great idea.
yeah.
That whole
It's a
parking
solid
area.
A
area.
lot of parking, a
Oh,
lot of space for all their officers and
Yeah.
their cars.
yeah.
And then they have the opportunity to do some of their old things in house. You know, I think the Chief John Alford's plan is to, you know, incorporate maybe some of the dog impounds
Oh,
because every time that you know anyone takes an animal to the dog pound, they charge the city. I believe it's $800 or $900 a
wow.
pop.
Wow. A dog.
An animal.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Okay, so
Wow.
So,
No wonder they don't want to enforce the city ordinance.
So if someone drops off an animal, 5 animals, you know that's almost $5,000
Wow.
in a month.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that adds up.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, with that, how many animals are running around right now? I
Yeah.
definitely would imagine
That's
that could be
interesting.
an issue.
Yeah.
Well, in a heavier populated area too, like
Yeah.
you know, we're talking Jackson, Cedar Creek, Ione, that has a lot of people, a lot of dogs, a lot of animals. I mean, a couple pickups, yeah, you could be looking at $10,000 a week, man.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, Ione now is the largest city
Yeah.
in Amador County.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
And so, you know, again, so you know, we have the police force grew. We have a great chief. you know,
Yeah.
Great.
And then the fire department.
Yeah.
You know, Ken Mackey's been there for 1,000 years.
Right.
So,
Yes,
you know,
you're right.
He's going to be here there long after I'm gone. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
Well, I think you're looking at Ione, you have all those major, mostly the newest developments that are coming in, right? It is a growing city. In the
Yes.
time that you've been there for the last 2 years, it's gotten a lot bigger. What is it you're trying to make sure you're managing now? And like, I guess what you've already worked on, and now what are you working on to make sure you can maintain that?
Right.
So in going over my priorities when I first came in, my first priority was try to stabilize the city in terms of, hey, calming everybody down, making sure that, hey, everybody's, you know, committed and has a vested interest. Number 2 was finishing all the older projects that's kind of been in the twilight zone for 5-10 years and, you know, not going anywhere. That was my priority, to get those finished. Well, for example, like Perry Old Park. In where the Newcastle Oaks development is.
Okay.
You know, that park was stagnant, and just doing nothing for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So for whatever reason, I pushed that out. So we got that finished. The other issue was that the school access easement to the elementary school, okay, to provide an emergency access and to alleviate all the traffic congestion.
Yeah.
So, that was in the works for 5 or 6 years. So we got that pushed out. Okay, so all projects like that was just kind of lingering, but nothing happened.
Right.
Now the next two steps I have, okay, is trying to get Howard Park, at a level where we can monetize it, because Howard Park is considered a regional park, but unfortunately the City of Ione has to pay all the expenses to maintain it. Okay,
Right.
so as a businessman, we have to figure out, well, we have a lot of park, we have a lot of kids. How do we monetize that?
Yeah.
Okay, and everywhere I go to a park or whatever, you have to pay for parking. Okay, you have to pay for parking. Okay, so, and that's the least impact, has the least impact on people's finances, because when you play little league or soccer, you always have to pay the dues and so forth. But
Right.
I think people wouldn't mind paying a small amount of money, $2 or $3 for parking. Okay, because knowing that all the money that if that's what they charge will go back into the park for improvements.
Knowing. Right.
Okay, and there's been a lot of significant improvements to the park. In terms of we've done a lot of improvements to the horse arena. Now with the Picnic Hill Amphitheater.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And the Little League and soccer. Little League is doing a lot of work to their fields. I mean, I don't know if you've been out there lately, but it looks really, really great.
That's awesome.
Okay, and then because of the generous grant through AWA and the Department of Water Resources, we have a new irrigation system at the soccer fields.
Okay.
That'll be significant.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
All right, and so I hope to do that, over the next few months, trying to get that stabilized. But the biggest issue I think that is challenging Ione right now, which is going to be my top priority after I get some of these other things done, is finding stable revenue for the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what every city's kind of going through right now. They can't really find it because, I mean, all we mostly have, because there's no developments, is sales tax. And if you're not getting the local shops or anything to buy down there, you're not really getting constant revenue for the city. And I think that's what's been the normal bring up through all of our managers' conversations have been, is finding
Economic
something.
development.
Finding something that's going to be residual, right? It's always going to come in. We know the number. It's going to happen, right?
And it's highly possible because again, because the City of Ione doesn't have an expense problem. We've always had a revenue problem. For the past 15, 20 years, they've relied on building fees, impact fees to live. Well, residences, they cost the city money in terms of you have to take care of the roads, sewer, all those type of things. So over a period of time, that all adds up. And so we've always had a revenue problem. So the challenge has been, okay, so how do we develop new sources of revenue? Okay, Howard Park is a huge asset. If you've ever been there on the weekends, thousands of cars. Okay, so just imagine if we monetize that, just a little bit of money. Okay, and so that adds up. The biggest, I think, opportunity that we have is at the Castle Oaks commercial site, because at the entrance of the Castle Oaks development, you have 13 acres.
Oh, that's right.
That have been designated for commercial for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately,
It's right across the street from a prison.
but to me, that can be a great, traffic generator.
Yeah.
But
True.
for the past 20 years, nothing's happened. And it's not. Hey, things change, and they had some opportunities, but usually in developments, usually in a situation like that, you have to build something if you sell every 50 homes or 100 homes.
Yeah.
Then you have to start something. Well,
Right.
because of whatever reasons, I believe those things were waived.
Wow.
So if they're waived, then the developer has no obligation.
That is true. I didn't even think about that, but with all the growth and anywhere else we've seen, Folsom, El Dorado Hills, all that, they always have to add more commercial, more parks, more commercial, more schools, all of that to support. And that hasn't happened in Ione.
All right. So again, I think that's one of the reasons why with my business background, I understand development. I understand
Right.
how they think.
Time to call your friend.
Okay, I understand how they think. Yeah. I
Flying in from
understand how
Hawaii.
they
Yep.
think and what they're looking for. And so, fortunately, this time I represent the city.
Right,
So,
right.
And again, my only, and the person I represent, the only is the city. Okay, no one else. Okay,
Right.
so I represent the best interests of the city. So we are working on some significant things.
That's exciting.
That if we are able to come to fruition, I think will have an enormous positive impact on the city
That's awesome.
going forward. Because my goal is to create a situation where the city has enough revenue for the long term.
That's
Okay.
Not for the
awesome.
short term, for the long
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, George, we've talked about a lot of things, and we've talked about your priorities in the parks, and we've never talked about the water situation. And currently, there are no water permits being given. There's no new building other than if it was already kind of happened beforehand. What are the plans for that situation? I do know you guys just raised your water rates. You had the lowest water rates in the entire county,
And
and
the sewer rates.
sewer rates, yeah, sewer rates. So $40.70 for as long as I can remember, and that just went up to $60. So of course that's going to be generating some revenue. But what plans do you have for the water situation?
Okay, so the sewer rate, all the monies raised for the sewer, that's allocated towards infrastructure. Okay, so the city can't use those monies for anything else. It goes into a particular fund, the sewer fund. Okay, so that's strictly earmarked for sewer improvements and such. So the water rates, that's, the drinking water, that's controlled by the Amador Water Agency.
Right.
And I do believe there's some, again, positive things happening at the Amador Water Agency where you were talking about a moratorium. I do believe, I'm hopeful that that moratorium is lifted sometime in the future.
But isn't that a result of your wastewater treatment plant? Isn't that the reason for the moratorium?
No. The water, the drinking water has nothing to do with the sewer.
Okay.
Okay, it's two separate issues.
Except the water that they use, the gray water has to go somewhere.
Yeah, so you're probably talking about the CDCR water that we get from the CDCR that goes to the tertiary plant that's used to water the golf course. Is that what you're talking about?
No, okay,
It's a
so
very complicated situation, I know.
I guess
why
there's a
can't you
lot of-
build in Ione? Why are you not issuing water permits in Ione? That has something to do with the city of Ione because the Amador Water Agency has enough water for everything. So why is that not happening in Ione?
You mean the drinking water?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That strictly has to do with Amador Water Agency.
Okay.
Okay, that has nothing to do with Ione.
Hmm.
Okay, so again,
Okay.
I think the water agency has been very good in terms of trying to plan because there's a lot of upsizing that they have to do. For example, in Ione's plant, a water plant, is kind of outdated. So I think they have plans to update the water plant in Ione. If they're able to do that, then I believe that they'll be able to give Ione more drinking water meters, is what you're talking about.
So they're going to use the Amador Water Agency is going to update the Ione's water table.
They're going to Ione, AWA has their own water plant
Okay.
in Ione.
Uh-huh.
Okay, separate from the sewer. It has nothing to do with sewer.
Okay.
But the AWA has their own water treatment plant.
Okay.
Okay, and so I do believe they're trying to improve the water
Gotcha.
plant.
Oh, their plant. Okay.
Their plant. So if they're able to improve their plant, of course they're going to be able to send us more water.
Okay. So the gray water in Ione does not go to the golf course.
Yes, it does. So there's two sources of gray water, one from ARSA and one from CDCR. So every year they send us water. It goes to the tertiary plant, where it's treated, and then it's irrigated to the water, to the golf course.
Okay.
So we just did the CDCR they were very gracious in increasing their participation because they normally pay 54% of our operating costs. So they were previously paying only $24,000 per quarter. Now they're paying $174,000.
Oh, right, I did hear that. Yeah,
Okay.
somebody found that.
Okay.
That was a good find.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've stepped up to the plate significantly. Okay. So the other entity that we're hopeful in negotiating with is ARSA. Okay, in terms of what they pay.
Tell us what ARSA is. What's it
It's the
stand for?
Amador Regional Sanitation Authority.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think that is being folded into the city of Sutter Creek.
Okay.
Yeah. So and so Tom is trying to bring that together. And like I said, Tom has his challenges, and Tom is doing a great job over there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So I do believe that the Amador Water Agency is going to hopefully have some positive news for in terms of water meters. I think that will loosen up in the soon. That's my hope anyway.
Okay.
Well, that's all I have for really good questions.
Okay, got it. So I was trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. I think, of course, you get a lot of heat on the city council. That's kind of a big thing out there. There's a lot of things happening out in social media world right now. And water, I own extra.
Do you have anything? Yeah, anything special? I mean, you want to give a little tidbit on that little?
I'll just close, by hey, I'm true blue Ione. Okay, I mean, again, and I think the dynamics of Ione is an interesting one, like you say. Everyone has their own opinions. I think everyone's intent is good. Okay, I think everyone has good intentions. And I think what the town doesn't know is I don't know if they realize how much the staff does. I mean, they really do a lot of work. Because there's a lot of things to do. I mean, we're trying to get caught up on 4-5 years of audits that happened 10 years ago.
Wow.
And nothing to do with this council, but happened previously.
It's all deferred stuff. That's, I mean, that's
whatever
Know
happened.
Amador County, man. That's rampant right now.
Ken Mackey does, Ken and Deb Mackey do a great job. Now, one of the things that I don't think people know is Mr. Mackey basically works for free.
Wow.
Because he's an annuitant. I mean, he's retired. And he can't, make a certain amount of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, so Ione is very, very fortunate.
Very blessed. Yeah, the Mackeys are awesome.
Because if you had to hire a fire chief, I mean, that would
I'm
blow
sure
a hole in our budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if the majority of people know that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why, hey, all the law enforcers and police officers and fire chiefs are heroes in my mind because, hey, I mean, he doesn't have to work. I mean, he does it because he loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves Ione.
Okay, I thought of one quick question. There's been talk about the school district and you guys losing your elementary school, right? Not losing it, but the elementary going to the junior high and the junior high going up to either Amador or Argonaut. Where do you stand on that?
I think there are things in the work that they're trying to address. I can't really say too much, but I think the superintendent is in a tough position because, again, he's trying to appease many different groups. I do believe that we do have a submittal for an additional 1,100 homes in Ione. Okay.
How are you going to do that without water?
I'm hopeful that we will have water.
Okay, good.
Okay, and that will bring in a extraordinary amount of money to the school district.
Right.
Every impact.
Growth in growth in population is growth in value, which gives
Well, and
back
the
to the
impact
schools and
fees,
everybody else,
every house that's built has to give the school district a certain percentage of money.
All right. So I do believe that Jared is trying to find a happy medium. I think that the residents of Ione have been concerned that they didn't have an opportunity to give their input because they kind of tried to do it in a quick way.
Right.
And I think Mr. Critchfield is trying to be a little bit more transparent that way.
That's why Garrett just had to leave. His son is actually getting an award at the elementary school, and so he can't miss that. So his son is getting a little award, and we talked too long. But that's really what we're here for, right? So Garrett's departure was that. But no, you're right. I mean, and I think that Ione really is family oriented. I mean, very generation after generation, right? And a heart. I mean, there's really Ione's. It's kind of like such a strong community, I mean, that everybody loves the city. I mean, I think it happens everywhere, but Ione has a very special bond with the city, And,
I can't say enough about the volunteers. At every benefit you go to, you always see the same volunteers.
Right.
Every time, year after year, they're donating their time, resources, energy. And that is very, very difficult to find.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they don't have to do it, and they do it because they love their town.
Right, right.
Okay. And
Well, and you guys still have a homecoming.
yes.
So when Ione, so for those of you who are not familiar with why the Ione homecoming exists, which is coming up, isn't it the first weekend in May generally?
Yes.
Yeah. So and so we're going to talk about Benny the Bedbug,
Yes.
but we're going to so with the Ione homecoming, this is because Ione used to have its own school district, and then Ione school district and Amador in the Jackson school district merged, and that's what created Amador County Unified.
Right.
And so with that, and so just for a little bit of history on this, Ione Junior High used to be the high school. It wasn't at the Mustangs.
Right.
So then the Argonaut, it became the Argonaut Mustangs, right? So then now it's the Ione Colts because they're the baby Mustangs, right? And so that is when they merged. Ione never gave up their homecoming. So every year there's a big event. It's so much fun. If you guys have not been there, you're gonna want to check it out. It's coming up. What date is it on? It's a weekend.
Yes. So second weekend in May.
Okay, perfect. So that's like the 7th, 8th, or 8th, 9th, 10th, probably, something like that. So, and then where did Benny the Bedbug come from? He is the mascot of the Ione homecoming.
You know, I don't know that.
I don't either. I'm so interested. So you guys
should
drop
do
it in
that.
the comments right now. So if you know that information, we're curious where Benny the Bedbug
That's
came
the first
from.
thing I'm going to find out when I go back. Because I should know that. I'm embarrassed that
Yeah, no, I can't. I feel
Thanks for
like I've
bringing that
heard
up.
it. I'm sorry. I feel like I've heard it before, but I can't remember
Yeah, thanks
where
for bringing
Benny
that
the
up.
Bedbug came from. But that isn't that a funny mascot
Yeah.
for the Ione homecoming? So that'll be awesome.
Yes.
Any plans to use the amphitheater during that
Yeah.
time?
I think there'll be music in there, and I encourage all of the schools to come to the city and do awards. That's a perfect venue
Oh,
to
yeah.
do awards, to do choirs, to do plays.
I love
You
that.
know,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, we have lights and we have the shade structure now and so forth. So that's what it's been built for.
And the shade structure, it looked like, was over all the seating
Yes,
area. That's
yes,
awesome. How many people does it seat?
Between 300 and 400.
Wow.
Yeah, and we just
Wow.
had several people come to the city yesterday. Hey, can we have our award ceremony there for the school? Can we have our play there? Can we
That's
have a choir
great.
player? So
Yeah.
that's what it's for.
Well, and that may be a great revenue generator also.
Yes.
A band that wants to come and
Yes.
be there and they can,
Yeah.
you can charge for people coming in on that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Mr. Favilla is doing a great job promoting that.
I love that.
Shout out to Sam. You know, his wife is having
Yes,
some
God bless
issues,
you.
so,
We are praying for
you know.
you, and we know that Jessica is so strong,
Yes.
and we're all behind you.
But he's been doing a great job, and Taylor with the horse ring, and we have a very good staff. And Janice
awesome.
Traverso, she's been there
Yes.
for another
A ton of years.
Another,
Yes,
person
yes.
like Mr. Mackey, I think
Yeah.
another 1,000 years, and
Yes.
still be there when I leave.
That's
you know?
right.
So,
Yes.
again, but
Yes.
those are the type of people that is represented by Ione.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so speaking of when you said when I leave, we actually have had an interview with the city manager that the day after we learned that he already had accepted a position with another city, but we didn't know that during the interview. So any news about that? You don't plan on leaving us in the next week?
I serve at the pleasure of the council.
Awesome.
Okay, and like I said, and actually, I do believe this council in the future will be remembered as one of the most consequential in the past 20 years.
That's awesome.
Because I believe that they've gotten more done in the past 2 years. When you think about it, they've gotten more done in the past 2 years than they've gotten done in the past 20.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, and they can name them off.
That's awesome.
If you look at all the different things that happened there, Perry Old Park, the amphitheater, you know, easy access easement, you know, the train depot park, and the water situation, getting that, money's improved.
Right.
So I do believe that they will be considered one of the most consequential. In the
That's
past 20
awesome.
years. I mean, they're the hearts in Ione.
You have a ton of buildings on Main Street for sale. Any idea of who knows and because there was a gentleman that owned the majority of Main Street who passed away. Any idea on what's anybody coming in or any talk on that?
I think there's there's a lot of interesting things happening, and I think everything has to do with timing and price.
It does. You're
Okay?
right.
But one thing I know, that's my background. I have
Yeah, that's right.
I still have a lot of assets everywhere, but everything depends on timing and price. And I do believe, if based on the market conditions, ultimately, the buyer and seller get together. But I do believe that there probably is some unrealistic unrealistic expectations by sellers.
True.
And
You I live this.
yes, and that's understandable.
Yes.
Because they think their property is worth
Yeah,
$10
that's
million.
right. That's right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Just because you can price it at that doesn't mean that's what you're going to get.
So from my point of view, I always try to be reasonable, and from what I've learned is that, hey, you do things reasonably, and you always want to leave money on the table for the next person.
Right.
Because from my experience, I have learned that greed is a bad thing.
Right.
That's when people make a lot of mistakes.
That's right.
When they get greedy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
from my
there's
experience.
been that for sure.
And, I've experienced that myself. So
No,
I know from
absolutely.
experience. So again, you don't have to get every last penny.
Right.
As long as you make a little bit of money, that's okay.
That's exactly right.
know?
Right. Well, and also in a small community like this too, I feel like leaving a little bit for the city is not a bad thing. It is. So we're going to pray for that for Main Street.
And I think over the next 3 to 4 months, if things go the way they go, I think you'll see or hear about a lot of positive events happening in Ione.
I love that. That's great. Well, you keep us
Yes, I will.
updated and let us know on events because we can come to you.
Okay.
We were very sad to miss the amphitheater opening. That was
Yes.
something that was remarkable. And if you guys haven't checked that out, check out the Ledger Dispatch so you can see all about
Well,
that.
you're coming to the homecoming, right? So
Homecoming, we will be there. Yes, that's so much fun. We love it. I've played I think I came in second one year on the horseshoe tournament. I'm not gonna lie. We played in the softball tournaments. There's the mutton busting where the little kids ride the animals. That's so much fun. It's such a fun event. So awesome. Well, George, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
Anything you want to leave the viewers and the City of Ione peeps with?
hey, I'm True Blue Ione. Go Ione.
Awesome. Thank you very much, George.
Thank you.
The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official stance of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services or Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties or any affiliated entities. This podcast does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice, and listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific needs. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness or reliability of any information discussed. We are not responsible for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Additionally, topics covered in the podcast are based on the host's experience and opinions and may not apply to all situations. Listeners are reminded that real estate laws and regulations may vary by location, and information may become outdated over time. By listening to this podcast, you agree to release the host, guests, and any associated entities from any liability related to the topics discussed.